Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Nadia Akong.
Good afternoon, Justice.
It's Akong.
Akong.
Akong, okay. Are you settled?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Montagne Posée Commission of Inquiry. My name is Justice Mavedzenge. I'm the chairperson of the commission. Before I give fellow commissioners the space to introduce themselves to you, I just want to clarify that we are here as a commission to investigate and establish the truth about what happened at Montagne Posée prison on the 5th and the 6th of December 2024, and the events that are connected with that, including the death of your family member, Mr. Francis Enesta.
Yes.
So that's why we are here. So, commissioners, you may introduce yourselves.
I am Melchior Vidot.
Victor.
And on the left is the secretary for the commission, Miss Chelsea Albest, who I'm going to ask to then administer the oath, and then he will proceed after that.
Are you a Christian or do you follow another denomination?
Christian.
If you can lift up your right hand and repeat after me, please. I swear
I swear
by Almighty God
by Almighty God
that the evidence
that the evidence
I shall give
to
this commission
this commission
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
but nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Ms. Alba. You may be seated.
Thank you very much, Secretary, and thank you very much, Ms. Akong. Just to explain a few procedural rules or a few rules that we need to observe before we start taking your testimony. So the first is, like I mentioned earlier on, the primary goal that we have is to find out the truth
Okay.
about what happened. And therefore we ask you to share with us only the truth.
Okay.
Please answer the questions that we are going to ask you. Answer all the questions as they are asked and to the best of your knowledge.
Okay.
We ask you to conduct yourself with dignity and respect, including when you are referring to other people in your testimony. But this is also for everyone in the room, that let's conduct ourselves with dignity and respect for each other, dignity and respect for the witness who is giving testimony today, and dignity and respect for the process that we are doing here. I'm also going to remind everyone who is in the room to refrain from interrupting the proceedings. So if you have a mobile phone, I request you to switch it off completely or put it on complete silent mode. Not vibration, but silent mode, so that it does not produce a sound that can interrupt the witness. We want to make sure that the witness has unhindered opportunity to give their evidence. The only interruption we accept is when commissioners are asking you questions, because they want to properly understand what you are saying. Let us also minimize movements in and outside of the room. Having said that, I would like to then indicate to you that we're going to be led by Commissioner Vidot in helping you or helping us receive your evidence. So he's going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
We will ask you follow-up questions in the process. So I hand you over now to Commissioner Vidot.
Good afternoon, Ms. Akon.
Good afternoon.
Anyway, on behalf of the Commission, we present our condolences to you and your family for your loss.
Thank you.
As I understand it, Mr. Anista was your father?
Yes.
Okay. And he was an inmate at the Montagne Posée prison.
Yes.
Can you tell us how old he was when he died?
My dad actually was a skipper at that time.
Pardon?
He was a yacht skipper at that time.
No, how old
At
he
that-
was?
Oh, how old he was?
Yeah.
He was 70.
70.
Yes.
And at the time of his passing, how long did he have to serve his sentence?
It remained actually barely 3 months because
Barely.
he would have been out by the 3rd of March,
Okay.
2025.
So, anyway, you are definitely aware of the incident of the 6th and the 5th of the 6th of December 2024.
Mhm.
When did you first hear of that incident?
In actual fact, I got home around 6 p.m. on that day, the 5th, after work. And basically during the day, I don't even have time to really go through my phone. That's basically the time I have to go through my phone and see what is happening. And it was I could say, it was a Friday. So basically it was around 6 when I got home.
Around
And
6.
Around 6 I was at home and I was checking Facebook
Okay. And that was on the 5th?
on the 5th.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, so you were checking?
So basically I was checking and we saw like a breaking news, something happening at Montagne Posée. So basically, given the fact that my dad is there, I called my sister, Franklin, immediately to see if she knew or heard anything that was happening there. And she said, yeah, I'm following as well, I saw. So we kept, news was coming in on the phone, and also, basically, I called to check. I called Montagne Posée to check.
Around what time did you call?
Around the same time, around 6.
Around 6,
Yeah.
okay.
Then to check on my dad, actually, to see if he is okay. And so I was told that nothing to worry. Where the incident is happening, it's far from where his cell is actually. So I don't need to worry about that.
Okay. And so did you later on get any news as to what happened to your father?
No. Basically, during the night, no.
Okay.
No.
When did you first get to hear that your father has been transported to the hospital?
In actual fact, it was around 4:35 around, I would say. To be a bit pretty, I got a call.
So would that be?
I got a call.
Would that be in the morning?
Morning, the 6th.
Okay.
I got a call. No, I heard my phone ringing. I saw, then I went like, who's calling me at this hour? Because normally I wouldn't get called. So I was hesitating to reply. I proceeded, and then a voice, somebody I don't even know, a number that I don't even know, called and said, sister, your dad, I saw your dad being injured. In actual fact, he saw my dad being brought to on a stretcher, heading to, I don't know if hospital or, but that person said, I saw your dad. The way they were bringing him, he looks as a dead person, but he's badly injured. Go to a hospital and check what is happening to your dad.
So you got that call. So did you go to the hospital?
Yeah, immediately I started getting ready. I called emergency department hospital to check if any inmates from Montagne Posée has gotten, if there's any injury and so on. They said they wouldn't give any information. If I've got my people up there, I have to come to emergency department to check.
Okay.
So basically, I called Dauphin Ward knowing injuries, will end up at Duffy Ward if there's any casualties and all. So Duffy Ward basically confirmed there's no Francis Henista by that name at this point. I went down to emergency department, and I got there actually 5:35. I got that call around 4:35. I proceeded to hospital, and I got emergency department at around 5:15. Sorry.
Okay. Were you alone at that time?
Yes.
Okay. So when you reached the A&E at the hospital, did you manage to see your father?
When I got there, actually, I saw the prison guards already at the emergency. There were, I would say, around 10 of them. And then there was the security of the hospital itself who was there standing. So they were on the watch. Basically, when I was not even at the emergency, on my way where there's the X-ray department. One officer came and met me there and say, "Where are you going?" And then I... Yeah.
Was it a prison officer? Or
No, the security guard.
Oh, from the hospital. Okay.
But around there was the prison officers.
Okay.
So he approached me and asked me, "Where are you going?" And then I say, "I'm coming here. I got a phone call from anonymous, I would say, that my dad has been brought to the hospital. I'm just checking to see if it's true." So basically, that lady, it was a lady, she spoke to one prison officer, and that prison officer came to me. He said, and actually asked me the name of my dad, which I gave. And then he said, "We're not allowing anybody to see any inmates."
Okay.
So basically, I pleaded. I said, "Please let me see if he's there." Then I went nearer to emergency, still at the where there's that big two doors. So basically, I went there trying to get more information, and came from inside a nurse in charge, maybe of that ward, I don't know, with one prison officer that was in charge of the whole group. He came and approached me. Whilst I was crying, I said, "I want to see my dad." He said, "Yeah, your dad is there, but we're preparing him for him to go theater. He's broken his arm." I said, "Can I get
He's
him?"
broken his what?
His arm.
Okay.
His arm. He said, "No, we're not allowing, but I will allow you to see him." He basically opened partly that door, which I got through see part of my dad's beard, because my dad's got beard. He was covered on bed sheet. So basically, because I was not allowed to see him, I had to go.
Okay.
I had to
So
go. I went home.
You never had the opportunity to...
At this
to,
point,
1 minute.
no.
Did you have the opportunity to talk to your father at this point?
At this point, no.
Okay.
I
So you
went
returned
back.
home.
I went back home, and then that's when I made a phone call to my sister who was overseas. She's a nurse, so that she could be able to maybe get to speak to the same medical language and get to know what is happening. So basically, I called her through WhatsApp, and she said, "Okay, I'll check with the nurse in charge and the nurse who's in charge on that day for that shift." So basically, she got back to me saying that I got in touch with, I don't know if it's Mrs. or Miss, but she was not working on that day. She was on Silhouette.
Okay.
And she said she will contact the other colleagues working for that day and get back to her. So basically, when she got back to my sister, she said, "Yeah, Francis is injured. He's going to theater because he broke his arm." And the way this was coming out is as if it was a stampede, meaning through those moments. So basically, I didn't buy that.
Okay. Because you had seen your father at that point.
No, I'd seen only part of his head.
Part of his head.
Yeah, he was on bed.
And
lying.
it wasn't looking
I
good.
I felt that, no.
He wasn't looking good.
No. So basically, I went back to hospital again at 8:30
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
And when I was there, I saw the same police officers who was there around 5. and others who joined in. Then I came and they told me, weren't you here around 5 and you're back again? We told you you're not allowed to see your dad and nobody's allowed. I cried. I said, please, my dad is going to theater from what they said. So I just need to speak to him to see what happened, if he needs anything, like his toiletries and all. So I was also in contact with my other sister, Franklin, and I called her at that point. I said, I'm at emergency department. Come, please. And one police officer came and hugged me, saying that because you've been here around 5, I can see that you want to see your dad. We are not allowed. We've been instructed by CP not to allow anyone in. Because I know you, I will allow you a few minutes to talk to your dad.
When she said she was not allowed by CP,
Yeah.
who did you understand that to be, CP?
Prison authority, the head of prison authority.
Okay. You have a name?
Miss Janet George.
Okay. Okay, proceed.
Yeah. So basically, he allowed me, he accompanied me. The curtains were closed with the other inmates around. So basically, Dad was on the 3rd bed to the far corner.
So he was still at the emergency
department by 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, they opened the window, the curtain, and present to see, here's your dad. My dad's eyes was closed at this point. And then I walked and said, Papa. And he opened his eyes. He said, mon petit, on arrive là, zotin bat mon pari un zoui. So,
My daughter, you have come here. They had beaten me like an octopus.
Yeah, carry on, please.
so I said, what happened? He said, they beat me. I fell to the ground. They continue to beat me. That same arm that is broken, they pulled it. They were asking me to stand up and walk. They step on me with the boots. I said, Papa, all this happened.
And
And
when you say they, when you're saying they,
and
did
then
he,
I say,
one minute,
who?
One minute, yeah, exactly. Did he
I said,
explain
who?
who it was?
He said, all of them, the army, a lot of them, they killed Machot. He, you know, the first time he's seeing one relative, and he wanted to just say it, like I said. And he was suffering, my dad. And he was complaining about his arm. He had bandage over his head, which was partly out, I would say, like a bonnet that you put the babies in. So that was partly off.
Say that again.
You know the bandage they put around his head was completely coming out, looking like a little bonnet in French,
Bonnet.
you see, for the
Bonnet.
babies that way. Yeah.
Okay.
You know the small hat.
Yeah, it looked like that when I came. And the mask he was wearing, the oxygen mask, was already up here, on his forehead. So I tried putting it. I said, Papa, he said, I can't, I'm in so much pain. Call them, tell them I'm not comfortable. So basically I called one nurse, which is a foreigner, and asked to assist. They came with a pillow, trying to help my dad put his arm into a position that he could be comfortable. And whilst they were doing that, I lifted Dad's bed sheet that was covered, and I saw that he was naked, and his boxer was near his ankle. And then I asked, why is he naked? Are you guys applying a catheter or what? Nobody could be bothered because I got no reply. Because the nurse was going back and forth, I was only with.
So nobody could give you an answer
No,
to that
no.
question?
I even
Okay.
saw one nurse. I called him. I said, please, I want to know what is happening to my dad, at what time he's going. He went like this to me. Couldn't be bothered. Okay? So basically, we were there told to, during that time, Franklin came. She was
Franklin
also
is
in
your
Franklin,
sister?
my sister, came
Okay.
whilst I was there. And after that, we left to get the toiletries for Papa. And he was still at emergency at around 11.
So you returned back
Yes,
with the
around
toiletries
11.
around 11.
But they didn't take it because they said, keep it with us and his clothes so that when he comes out of the theater, he can have it on
Okay.
the ward.
So this time you didn't see him because he was in the theater?
No, he didn't. He never went to theater.
He never went.
No. My papa never went to theater.
Okay. But they've told you he's gone to the theater.
They're planning for him to go to theater to fix the arm, the
Okay.
broken arm. But like I said, when I was lifting the bed sheet, whilst the nurse was navigating, putting this pillow, Papa was a bit to the side, and from the back I could see there was a plaster with blood. And later I found out that this is where he got shot, in the back. But this would come later when I'll talk about that.
Okay. So at 11 you went back.
Then I went back to waiting for him. So I was in contact with the prison officer, Mr. Sermon, at that time.
Mr.
Sermon or
Sermon.
Mr. Simon. Mr. Sermon or Simon, they call him. Okay, so he was there assisting us to call us once Papa go to theater. But when my sister got in contact with him, it was past 3. Papa was still at emergency.
Okay. At that point in time, have you had contacts with CP George or anybody from
The only
the
contact
prison?
we had was the prison officer present at the hospital. That
Okay.
was the only contact we had
Okay.
at this point.
Okay. Okay, so carry on.
So basically, around 5, my sister got a call that they transferring him to Dauphin ward, and he's not going to theater. I got to the hospital at 6:30 on that day.
So you had been to hospital at around 4,
No,
you said?
no, I
When you
didn't.
first went to hospital? Around
I went
5?
to hospital at 5:15,
and
8:30, 11,
11,
then 6:30.
6:30 is
In
still...
the evening, that was still at emergency.
He was
when
still
I,
at the
no,
emergency.
6:30 when I went to Dauphin ward. Around 5, he was transferred to Dauphin ward. Let's say 6, he was there on Dauphin ward.
Okay.
So
So you managed to see him at Dauphin ward?
Yes.
Okay.
So I
And
got to
he had not gone any surgery?
No. And at Dauphin ward, like they said, they were preparing for him to go to theater. Basically, I asked for the doctor. Who's the doctor following? They said the doctor is coming. And he's going later, never came. So basically, around 7, and I forgot to mention, when I saw my dad at the emergency department, my dad was filthy. He was smelly. My dad was vomiting. And when we got to Dauphin ward, I requested that they at least give, not a shower, but at least remove him from this, I would say,
The state that he was in.
but
So did
you
they...
know what I was told?
Yes.
He just got here. I say he just got on Dauphin ward, but he's been with you since early morning, from Ansbalo to emergency now. It's only now they brought him up. So can you imagine the state he has been the whole day?
Okay.
So basically, he said, but you have to wait.
So nobody was even giving
No.
assistance to your father
No,
when
no,
at
no,
the
no, no.
Dauphin ward?
One guy, I don't know if he's a nurse assistant or a nurse, whilst he heard that nurse, a young nurse I would say, then he said, it's okay, I'll help you after to try to clean him a little bit.
And he did?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. He helped out. Just basic. And then I made a call to my sister in Sri Lanka to see Dad's state. Basically, I was there waiting for that doctor. Nowhere to be found. I don't know what doctor.
So,
So
any time or what time the doctor came? Do you know?
no,
You were in hospital up till what time?
8.
8.
Yes, and we were told to go because the visiting time was over, and to come the next day. So I left my number with the prison officer who was there guarding them. Say anything happening during the night, please inform me, because Dad was still vomiting when getting to Dauphin Ward.
Okay. So you went home the next day, or
Next day I came back
you,
at 9:30.
you went back? At what time?
9:30 in the
Okay.
morning. It was a Saturday.
Okay. So you went back to the Dauphin Ward.
Mm.
Am I correct? Yeah. You managed to see your father?
So yes, when I walked in the ward, they had put my dad upright in that bed, and my dad was strangling like that, trying to grasp air. The sooner he saw me, he said, "Please, I'm not comfortable. Tell them to pull down a little bit of my bed. I'm not comfortable." My dad was in so much pain. There was one nurse standing, I don't know the name. And I said, "Miss, please, Dad is complaining he's not, can you see he's not comfortable? Try put the bed." He said, "No, we have to put him this way for him to get oxygen in his head." That's how she replied.
Were you alone at this time?
I was alone at this
okay.
time.
Nobody came
No.
with you. Okay.
So
Carry on.
basically I say, "Dad is not comfortable." He said, "No, he had to stay in that position." I said, "You don't even know if he broke one of the rib." I was just saying that. But later it confirmed that yes, he had several ribs broken. And like I said, she couldn't be bothered. I took the, where there's the thingy, mechanism. I pull a little bit down to just for Papa to be a bit more comfortable. And during that time, whilst waiting, and I asked, "What's the doctor?" He said, "Doctor is coming." I said, "Which doctor?" They had to discuss. I said, "But he will not go to theater, like you said." He said, "We're still waiting, we don't know."
And you are now on the 3rd day.
They did, Saturday.
Have you had contact, or had the prison authorities been in touch with you?
No one. Like I said, we were only in contact with the prison guard
Okay.
at the hospital.
And neither were any of your relatives. Did the prison authority get in touch with any of your relatives?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. But nobody told you that they weren't
No.
in touch. Okay. So you helped your dad.
I helped my dad to get a bit ease. And during that time, there came two, I would say, junior doctor. The sooner I saw them, you know, when you need help and you're trying to grab anyone that comes around, no? So I saw that two junior doctor walking in to come on their rounds. So basically, I asked, "Are you the doctor to my dad?" And she replied, "No, I'm not the doctor, but I can help."
Okay. Any of the doctors, now you have doctors present, any one of them explained the injuries that your father had sustained?
Yeah, I will come to this one. So basically, when I grabbed that doctor to say, "Okay, help me assist my dad," then they took a call ICU, and their Dr. Gaillon came from intensive care unit. When she came, she looked at Dad. Dad was in a bad state, I would say. So basically, she took Dad emergency to intensive care unit.
To the ICU?
Yes.
They went. Okay. So at this point, you are
At
not.
this point, after they've admitted him and all, it was after that Dr. Gaillon asked us, "Have you been explained about the injury he got?" We said no. Up to this day, no one.
No one has ever explained
No.
to you?
No.
Okay. So he went into ICU. Any
Mhm.
time, any other time that you saw your father alive?
After admission in ICU, after Dr. Gaillon spoke to me and my relatives, my other brother, sister, everybody was there. So basically, Dr. Gaillon told us that the injuries he got,
Pardon?
he got a bullet at his back, and that has damaged two of his vertebrae. He's got mass of fluid holding his lungs, I would say, and diaphragm, I would say, and his two kidney was already shrink. And
Do you need some time? Okay, let's take a few minutes. There's tissue there.
it was at this point that
No, 1 minute. Can we go back? Okay, wait 1 minute. You,
I think I don't think you should switch off. Just
shift the camera.
The camera so that you don't stop. Yeah.
It's okay? Okay. So, can you just tell us
yeah, it was at this
where you
point.
left off? Can you continue from where
Yeah.
you left off?
So basically, when doctor was explaining the injuries he had, at one point the doctor went like, we 50-50, meaning at that point I realized that I'm losing my dad.
Okay. So, you realized that he was dying, and
Yeah.
so what did you proceed to do?
So basically, doctor gave us two options. Either they try to remove all those fluids accumulated, try to do something to save his life. But it was a 50-50.
Okay. And you told, did you ever tell them to go ahead and
Yeah,
try to save his
I
life?
told them. I signed the paper. I was the one who signed the paper.
Okay. And did they undertook any?
So basically, they stabilized him at 7 p.m. They told me they're gonna start the procedure to do a dialysis so that they could, because the level of potassium was too high in his body. And given that he was having problem to breathe because of the mass of fluid, I would say they wanted to try remove, but there was either one or the other.
Okay.
My dad left us at 9.
Pardon?
He left us at 9:05
Okay.
that day, the 6th.
Okay.
7, sorry.
Okay. After your father passed away, did anybody from the prison contact you?
Not me. No.
Okay. So you've never had any explanation from the prison as to what happened to your father?
So basically, we wanted to see the CP. Me, I didn't call the office, but I got a phone call from the secretary on Wednesday, the 11th December. And because she knows me, and she wanted to ask if I'm coming for the meeting to see CP. And then I asked about when is she seeing us? He said, today, this morning. I say, how come? Because my sister just got back in the country this morning and she hasn't even seen my dad. So there's no way we are going to see CP this morning. And she got back to me and we were given an appointment to see her on Thursday the 12th. That would have been at 1. The meeting was set for 1 p.m.
But you went to that meeting?
We went to that meeting.
Who went to that meeting?
In that meeting, I had my aunties, my uncle, my sister, brother. Okay.
And I'll be right to say that you had the meeting somewhere in an office in town?
We went to Timulji, an Oriaji building where the office of CP is based.
Okay. And CP met you. Did she
no,
have any?
No, I didn't see CP.
Oh.
We got there. We waited. CP never turned up on that day. And it was Jerry Irani, I believe the signature, that was sitting to represent CP.
Okay. So you had a
and
meeting
we were
with...
told that CP is in another meeting.
So you had a meeting with Mr. Irani?
Yes.
Okay. And what transpired through that meeting?
Basically, I saw it as it wasn't fruitful because there was nothing that came out that could help us or basically give us a brief of what really happened.
Okay.
Because at this point, they were not able to tell us because I asked Mr. Irani, or Jerry, I would say, did you see my dad? And he said, yeah, I saw your dad on the stretcher when they were bringing him to the ambulance, but I was a bit far. And I asked him that question, did you see him in any clothes? He said, I can't remember, but I think he had his short on him, from what I remember. But he was not too clear. Like I said, the meeting was not fruitful because they were not able to really tell us what happened.
Excuse me, you said they. Who were they?
In that meeting, there was Miss Elsa Norris, Miss Elsa Norris,
Okay.
Mr. Jerry, Miss Mana was there.
Miss Myrna, Mrs. Nuis,
Yeah, but Miss Mana was at one point out of...
and Jerry, yeah? The three of them? Okay.
So will I be saying that you didn't find them to be helpful
Helpful,
before
yeah.
coming?
That's what I said. It was not fruitful. It wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
Meaning there was nothing we could got out of that meeting.
Did you feel that they were covering up anything?
Yeah. I could feel that maybe they were told or they were hesitating, but we were not getting anything from them.
But questions were put to them by your
Yeah.
family and relatives.
And I asked, given the age of my dad, and you guys knew most probably that you had some work to do in that block, why didn't you propose to him to move to the section where there are old people? Basically, he's going out and start rehabilitation. But they said he was comfortable where he was. And my sister asked, is he in charge of the prison? For you to come and say that he was comfortable? There were ways and means of putting my dad in another section. So
at that meeting, nobody explained to you how your father sustained the injuries that he had on him?
basically, no, it would appear that it was during a stampede. They said there was a lot of, I would say, they were blaming the prisoners, basically, to say that they caused the disturbance. There was a lot of disturbance, so basically they don't really know how he got hit.
Okay. During that time, did you meet with anybody in authority in the government in Seychelles?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have a meeting with the President of the
So
Republic?
basically
The then
that-
President of the Republic?
Yeah. On the Friday, 13, my sister called me. It was around 3. I didn't even have time to prepare myself. Can I have some water, please?
Yeah, you may. It's for you.
Yeah. Basically, I got a phone call from my sister. It was around nearly 3 in the afternoon.
Which sister is that?
From Franklin.
Okay.
To say that we're meeting up in town for the meeting. What I thought was a meeting, basically we had gathered as a family to start organizing Dad's funeral. So basically I thought I was going in that meeting. And I asked where we meet. So she told me to come to the parking near Dolce Vita. Me thinking we're going in one car now. So I got there. I was dirty because I was during my, I was on holiday, I would say, meaning I was going back and forth at home. Then I went and approached my sister from another car to see that everybody was dressed up. And I said, but where are you guys going? He said, we're going to State House. I'm like, you already got dressed, but how come I can't go like that? So basically I got my clothes from my sister, then we went to State House.
Okay.
In the meeting at State House, I had my sisters with me, my auntie, and uncle.
Speak it a bit louder, please.
So at State House, I had my sister, my auntie, and uncle.
Okay. And you met with the President.
Met with the president.
Was he alone or did he
He
have
was alone.
He was alone.
Mm.
So what transpired in that meeting you had with the President?
So basically, he gave us a brief account of what happened.
So can you tell us what that account was?
That he said it was unfortunate that because he knows Dad, that it was unfortunate that Francis had to sustain injury to end up losing his life in such a way. So he said that the Mazo, il servi, on peut dire que là, Mazo donné un brief.
What?
Mazo donné un brief of qui n'arrivait Montagne Posée.
The
Okay.
major gave him a brief as to what had happened at Montagne.
Okay.
Mhm.
And?
So basically, he mentioned the name of the heads who was in charge of the operations.
Who was that?
He mentioned Mr. Olanda, Mr. Marie, Mr. Sangwa, Mr. Dacambra. They were the ones, the heads of all the different units or department or section of the army.
Sorry, I understand that you may
Mhm.
not know their full names,
Yes,
but where you know, you can just.
yes.
But
Mr. Olanda, do you know the first name of Mr. Olanda?
I had,
Yes, if you have it.
yeah,
Let me check if I. Anyway, it's Lieutenant Colonel Rolanda, ASP Vincent Marie, ASP Dacambra, and
Lieutenant.
Assistant Commissioner Songwa. Lieutenant Colonel Rolanda,
Lieutenant Colonel
Special Force.
Hollanda. Après,
Special Force.
he works in Special Force.
ASP Vincent Marie Potru,
Yeah, yeah.
ASP Dacambra,
Thank you.
and Assistant Commissioner Songwa.
Assistant Commissioner Songwa.
So
But
Sorry.
you mentioned a major.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you
what
have
I
the name
say.
of the major?
That's what I wouldn't know who's the major he was referring to because he said Mazo Chijili. You get me?
He said
Major
Major
told him.
told him.
nobody inquired as to who that major was.
Mama memo pan
Okay. And what did he tell you that the major told him?
Mazo Injili epi ndoni epi brief lo ki pi pase.
The major briefed him about what was happening.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah. Basically, il partit vraiment dit qu'il m'a dit about Francis itself. OK? Seulement, Mazo ti rapporté pour dire les officiers tu peux battre lui. Francis comme si tu peux battre lui, Francis tin tombé.
And
Ça officier qui ti wa ça la qui peut battre papa à that time or ti crier que lui ti demande si comme ça qui dans le training.
did he
He
mention
did
the-
not really say exactly what the major told him, only that when the officer was beating my father Francis, that Francis at one point fell down, and then another officer called out to the officer that was giving him the beating, asking him whether or not this was the type of training that they received.
Did he mention any names of those who were beating your father?
Yes.
Are you prepared to give us the names
I
now?
don't know if you're ready to.
Pardon?
I can.
If you want to be in public, you can mention that.
Amongst the group was 4 main actors. Ezron Form, O'Neill Fanchette, Arisol Daniel, Joubert Ron.
Just before you go forward, did we get all the 4 names?
Yes.
Can you just repeat them?
She said Ezron 4, O'Neill Fanchette, Daniel
Arisol,
Arisol, and then
Juan Joubert.
Correct.
And these are the names that the ex-president himself gave.
Yeah, he gave,
to-
and he went along mentioning that they will be kept at the army camp, meaning in detention, until such time that the inquiry is completed.
Okay. So that to you meant that there was an inquiry that
Inquiry,
was going to
yes.
happen.
And he proceeded in saying that we can either sue the prison authority, the government, or go civil.
So he gave you that option.
Yes.
You can sue if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
But we need to wait for the report in order for us to proceed.
Okay. And that report?
Never
did-
came.
Never came. Okay. And you don't know whether any investigation was carried?
I was interviewed by the CID, and when I inquired about my statement, I wanted a copy, and I was told that my statement is with the CID at Wadi was.
Okay. You were interviewed by the CID in what context?
Because I was the first one who saw my dad at the hospital. I was the first relative to get
Okay.
there.
And the 4 names that you were given by the ex-president, do you know these people?
No, I don't know
Okay.
them personally.
So you don't know whether they were kept at the army camp
I
facilities?
doubt if they were kept.
Okay. Okay.
I doubt if they were kept because one lived not far from my sister's place at Perseverance. I would say basically not even 500 meters.
And you see him there.
But my sister, not me. My
Okay, your
sister can see from her house to that house.
Okay. Okay. And so, okay, you had this meeting. Anything else transpired at that meeting?
Yeah, basically, I asked him, do you know that my dad got one bullet? And he said, no. I said, oh, Major, didn't tell you this one. He said, no, I have to inquire. And during that meeting, he mentioned that he saw what was happening at Montagne Posée on Facebook. Like anybody saw it. That was the first thing he said. But after that, he was watching in terms of, he was watching closely. But closely, I don't know if he was watching through videos or what, but he said he was watching closely to the events
And
unfolding.
and you did not ask him what he meant by
no,
that?
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. And so that is all that was discussed at that meeting.
Then, basically about my dad, that was it. And we got stories about prison inmate cooking meat at the prison, having their own bars, the privilege they were having, all sort of
Who told you these things?
resident.
Okay.
That
Sorry,
they
in
cook in the tortoise meat and then send it over to their wife through prison guard. All this story was told.
So he was looking
But
for,
diverted from dad's thing to this.
so would I be right in saying that he was searching for a reason as to why your father lost his life? When he was telling you that was what's happening at the prison?
I felt that they were blaming the prisoners,
Okay.
basically.
Just to be clear, this when you say he was talking about the privileges that the prisoners have, was it in the same meeting?
Same
That you
meeting,
are sitting.
like I said.
Okay.
Meeting was not about that. After that, it was about telling us what the inmates does at the prison. Okay?
So, in a way, would I be right saying that it was a deflection from the actual
And we were also
cause why you were there?
we were also told why murder was put behind the isolation.
And what did he say about that?
You want to hear it now?
Yes?
He said murder was put behind bars to intercept communication from murder to the outside, because there was, I would say, consignment of drugs coming in from Madagascar, but because of the bad weather, things has been delayed. And he said this stays between us here.
So, how did you feel that you had gone to see the ex-president in regards to your father, but you were being told about other events that happened at the
It was
prison?
not professional, I would say. And that was not what we were expecting to hear, basically. And when we were concluding the meeting, he asked if we had any question, and I asked, don't you think my dad was mistakenly for Jean-Pierre of Prala? And he went like, non, il pas capable. Jean-Pierre nga il lage n'a pas aimant, mais le cœur vide d'autres qui lagli.
No, it cannot be. Jean-Pierre was released not more than a month ago, and it was Judge Vidot who was the one that released him.
So I didn't know that you were judging that case, and I didn't even know about Jean-Pierre being in prison and getting out of prison. How would I know that you had released Jean-Pierre?
Did you say when the president at that time spoke to you about Stephen Modo, he said this, you said there's a sentence, did you say, he said this stays in this room?
Yeah, he stays in this room.
He said, and what did you understand that to mean?
Whatever he said with regards to Morgan, the reason for putting him behind the bars, he knew about it, so he told us, and we have to just
And
stay quiet.
it's a secret. Okay.
Okay. So that is all you have regarding that meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And then you obviously had to...
Obviously, then he also mentioned about they will take care of the cost.
Say it again?
The cost for the
Funeral?
And I forgot to mention about being part of the postmortem.
We were going... Actually, I was going to ask you questions regarding...
In that meeting, because we were having problem to be able to be there on that day when he is doing that. We were told to do an application with the court if you want to assist, or if we want somebody to assist. So I went to see my lawyer, Bazirawo, who was in the process, and made an application to the court so that we could attend that. So basically in that meeting, we told him, we've done this application because that's what we've been told to do. And he went like, no, you don't need to do all these things. I said, you saying that, but the other party is saying we have to follow. So basically he took his phone, called the commissioner of police.
Who was at that time?
Mr. Ted Babe.
Okay.
Family has to do an application. No, release that body for Monday, 8:30 to do the postmortem. So it was just
A phone call.
a phone call away.
So did you attend the postmortem, or any person within your family attend?
Okay,
that
basically, Monday the 16th, we were active, I would say, by 8, because we were told to be there by 8:30. So my auntie got there in time. By 8, we were there, waiting. Whilst waiting, and like any procedures before commencing, they asked for Dad's file. And the file was nowhere to be found. And they said they wouldn't start until the file is brought. So basically, my auntie had to intervene and call State House to realize the file was in Dr. Maza's office. Dr. Maza was in charge of all the doctors at that time. And he said he had a meeting with the minister,
Did he say which minister?
Mr. Vidot, Minister for Health at that time. So basically, when we called the minister's office to check if that doctor had a meeting, he said no. Mr. Marty Vidot, I remember, said no, he doesn't have a meeting with the minister. And the file was in his drawer, in his office. He brought it back to
the mortuary.
the mortuary, yes. And then the procedure started 9 and finished 3:45, a whole day.
So you attended, or anybody?
My sister, who is a nurse, attended, and then we had Dr. Veshna Pire, who is a doctor, to assist, and was giving also her findings to one of a doctor's friend, who is, I would say, a pathologist.
And at the end of that, did you receive any postmortem report in respect of your dad?
From Dr. Veshna, yes, from her findings and observation, she wrote a report and gave it to me.
From the pathologist?
No.
Okay.
No.
And from Dr. Veshna,
I have it.
you have it. What was the cause of death? Or
I would say multiple trauma.
pardon?
The bullet. There's so many. I will.
Normally, they will give you about 3 or 4 causes.
No, if you
what
want, I can
contribute
give.
towards the death?
I would say that shooting of the back and all these fractured
Ribs?
ribs. His sternum was broken. Because I would say my dad was not buried with his brain, because his brain was mushy. They had to put it in formalin to be able to dissect.
Okay. So,
So if you looked at dad's head, it looked like a baseball, where you have stitches from both. That's the look of my dad. They had pulled his beard. It was torn from inside his mouth. And from this collar from the back also, looked like he had been strangled. This arm here, he didn't, he had a shot, a second bullet. So my dad basically had 2 bullets.
had to
Yeah.
have been shot twice.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And the former president expressed to you that funeral expenses will be taken care of. Was
Yes,
that done?
they will take care of the funeral expenses. And at the time of doing the prep, we were told that no, you have a limit. You can't exceed that limit. So the rest we had to do it ourselves.
So it was done through the social services. Am I correct? Is that the
I wouldn't know, because I was at that time. My auntie would know about the costing and all, because I
Okay.
wasn't.
So finally, you still had to bear some costs
Yes.
in respect
Yeah,
of
because
the
we went to
funeral.
Ladi.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that you would like to tell the commission? How do you think that there was any good cause or reason why your father should have lost his life in that way?
No.
And how do you and your family feel that your father lost his life in that way?
It's unfortunate and sad. Family wants to know if we've lost our moral compass as citizens of this country, especially those young army officers looking at a 70-year-old and you beating to death. And we feel that we were left in limbo, just wondering what is happening, what was happening, and what had happened.
And up to today, you've not met with, anyway, she's no longer in office as the commissioner, but you've never met with CP Georges
No.
for an explanation?
No, never.
Apart from the president, you never met with anyone who could
No.
explain
No.
the reason why your father had to lose his life in such a way?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, thank you very much, Commissioner Vidot. Just a few questions. Yeah, please go ahead and have some water. It's okay. So when Mr. Francis Senesta was in prison before 5 December, did you have some contact with him yourself?
Oh, yes, we went to visit him in prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he? What did he say about the way he was? I mean, the conditions in prison.
Basically, I would say Papa lacked of exercise because he was somebody that was very active before going to prison. Yeah, he was putting on weight. Like I said, he was lack of exercise. He had asked to go on rehab, where he would be working in port because he's, I would say, a professional skipper. I don't know if they were planning to put him on the program because from what I gather from my sister, Franklin, that they were going to put him on the program, but they insisted that he shave his beard. And he didn't want that because he has been keeping that beard since the age of 18. And at 65, you want to ask somebody to just shave off, and he didn't want to do that, basically. But he was looking forward for him to come out and be with the family. Because I would just mention that Papa, he died at 70. And that same year, Papa had 3 children of the age of 50.
Okay.
So the 3 of them celebrated their birthday, 50. Same year that Dad turned 70.
Yeah. During your visits at the prison, did he say anything about the quality of food, the quality of water?
Food was not here because, like I said, he had put on weight, no? So basically, he was not eating that healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. No, thank you, Commissioner.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
I think commissioners have already covered a lot of things, but I would just want to ask you, when you went to that meeting at State House, was there any mention that the then President, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, had given any orders to send troops?
No, there was a discussion about it.
He did not mention anything
No,
about that,
no, no.
yeah? Okay. Now, when you said that, what he mentioned was that there were some illegal things happening inside the prison.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal things happening inside the prison, meat being cooked, as you said, and whatever. Do you think the raid at this prison was part to do with, trying to get rid of those things? To prevent those things from happening?
For those things not to happen, the buck stopped with them. So from the gate, the search is not being done properly. How come it's in the prison?
Okay. Last question to you is, I know part of the family attended the postmortem together with a doctor. Did you receive any medical certificate of cause of death from the Ministry of Health themselves?
From Ministry of Health, we have a copy from intensive care, no? That's
Sorry?
the one you're talking about? The one that they give us to proceed to mortuary? No, that's the one?
That's the one he sent to the Social Services Department. I think that's what.
This one?
Yeah. Yes, I think we have a copy of this.
You did
Yeah.
read it?
Yes, I think, but not me personally.
Okay. But there is one part which is number 18, which talks about the manner of death. There are 6 little, there's natural, accident, suicide, homicide, pending investigation, and could not be determined. Now, in your own words, or what you saw, where do you categorize your dad's death in this?
Homicide.
Homicide, yeah? Okay. And okay, if this is what, because this is what the
I think
documents
if you also just want to summarize what it says, you can. But I think she doesn't have to answer any questions. But
Okay,
if you want to summarize,
because
to let her know.
when you said your dad was getting difficulties in breathing, there are parts of the conditions, disease or injury that cause death in there. It says mechanical asphyxia. There's one which is a penetration of food into the respiratory tract. So that means his food was all over the place in his stomach, and it
Yes,
had
that's
gone
why
in his,
what I was saying, because his diaphragm
okay.
burst. So
And,
basically everything went.
There was another one which is severe pulmonary contusions. The other one says multiple traumas to the chest and head. So that shows that as Mr. Ernesta himself said in the hospital, that he had been bitten like a octopus. It shows that really the traumas to his chest and head was severe.
I know that Commissioner Vidot asked you if there is anything else that you want to say at that time, and you said what you wanted to say. But because now we have come to the end of your testimony, really, is there anything again that you might want to share? If nothing, that is okay, but we want to give you that opportunity to conclude your testimony by saying anything that you want to say.
All I want to hear is the truth. If these people may come forward and at least tell the truth, who gave them the order to beat Dad to death? Because for me that was a massacre.
Yeah.
I've lost weight, 13 kg. I was 78, now I'm 65. For 1.5 years, I've not been okay. It's painful. I want to never see my dad again. Never. May justice be served.
No, thank you for saying those words and for telling us how you feel and what you expect. Perhaps what I remembered is when you just said what you said is this question also, did you get any counseling as a
No,
family?
never.
You did
Never.
not get that. Please, I'm just asking this out. There is what I can see, but we are here to get your evidence. So forgive me that I'm going to ask you this question. Do you need any counseling support?
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. No, thank you very much for that. And let me say, as a commission, we are deeply, deeply grateful that you came forward to give your testimony. Given the circumstances that you just described to us and how you were personally impacted by what happened, we can see the courage you have in coming forward and giving your testimony. It is not easy. We acknowledge that. And also that we had to ask you some questions that require you to revisit something that you are trying to move past. But we had to do that because we are looking for the truth and the facts. So we thank you for that courage. We would like to also just flag your rights, remind you of your rights as a witness, but also your family. They have the same rights. You have a right not to be victimized by anyone for what you said this afternoon, for giving your testimony. And it is a criminal offense for anyone to victimize you. And when I say anyone, I mean anyone, because everyone is under the law. So there's no one who has a position in society which they can use to intimidate you, to harass you, or even to question you about what you gave or you said to the commission this afternoon. It is a criminal offense to do so. So if that happens to you or anyone connected to you, please come forward and let the commission know, and the commission will take the necessary steps to protect you. And maybe whilst on that particular point, because we also have people who follow these proceedings, because in any case it's a public interest. They have an interest in knowing what happened. So that's why we are doing most of these hearings in public. So I would also say, caution anyone who is listening to these proceedings or who will listen later, caution them against asking you, interrogating you, or asking you to clarify anything. They have no authority to do so. Nobody has any authority to do so, to ask you to clarify, to confirm, to verify, no. And you have no obligations to cooperate with such individuals. Rather, what you do is you report them here, and then we will take the appropriate action to address that. If anyone is unhappy with your testimony today, the right thing that they do is they contact the commission and say, I would like to respond to what Miss Nadia Hakong said. Like they cannot have a direct contestation with you. That is not allowed under the law. Yeah. So I thought it is necessary to just clarify that, so that also the members of the public who are following this understand this.
Okay.
Because we are certainly taking this very seriously. I think establishing a commission to investigate this is itself a serious step. So we must also be serious about it. Otherwise, if we need anything from you that we think can help us to connect the pieces together and establish the truth, we will reach out to you again. But if you also just remember some things or find out new information that you think is helpful for the commission, please come forward contact us through our secretary, and we will receive that evidence and consider it. Otherwise, thank you very much for everything, and thank you to everyone in the room for not interrupting the proceedings. So this is the end of this afternoon's testimony. When is the next televised hearing?
Tomorrow at 9:30.
So tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. That's when we have the next televised hearing. So this concludes the testimony, and maybe you may remain seated, then they switch off the machines.